All right, we back again. The Better Black Life podcast. Um, Today we're going to ask the question: why do some black women on social media think all black men strictly date or prefer other races? Give us a second. We'll be right back. Don't go away. All right, my brother. I'm back. We're back. Brother Clarence, the coach, Brother Jarvis. And here's today's question, my man. Why do some black women on social media think all black men strictly date or prefer other races? Now let me ask you, let me explain why I came up with this question. I have I routinely look at certain people who have pages on YouTube or other social media, and I'm noticing a trend that's picking up speed with black women as they are saying or there's a um, line of thinking that is black men, especially successful black men, um, they tend to not want to be with black women. And that's my observation based on what I've seen, and I've seen it's picking up steam. So I'm gonna start it out with you, man. Why do you think something like that would happen, or better, is that something you're noticing, something you've seen out there?
Um, it could be either my age group, my peers, my environment. It could be a lot of things. Why as to where I really don't necessarily see in general that black men prefer other races than black women. Because in general, most black people live together amongst each other. So you got to stay over 90% of the time. You would think that most of us date our own. So that's who you come in contact with.
Yeah, but
At least,
well, excuse me, brother. I'm sure that they're not talking about you or me. Regular brothers is going checking in. They're probably talking about like the Shannon Sharps and the Tyrese's and those type of cats that you know that have went on the other side of the fence. So I just wanted to throw that in there while you was talking, brother. Sorry about that.
Right. Well, the way the question is worded, it sounds like in general, and if it's picking up steam like that, maybe it's just a question that I guess women in general have, but it's not new. And, Shannon Sharps and the Michael Jacksons, the Princes, the famed celebrities in our community, that's not in general, that's an exception. The athlete in our community who makes it in whatever field he's in and makes an enormous amount of money. That's not in general. That's the exception. What is it? Less than 1%, 2% of us make it doing that.
All right.
So that's not it. That's not in general. That's the exception. So to me, an exception is just that, an exception. So I mean, you have to have a narrow scope, or as a woman, or that's what you see yourself, who you see yourself being with, to feel like, oh, I mean, going towards everybody else but us. Well, why are you shooting for them? That's an exception. If you didn't grow up with them, why would he be interested in you? He don't even know you. If it happens, it happens. But don't seek. I mean, I don't think. I'm not a woman. I don't think you should seek out that athlete or seek out. You like him, or do you want his money?
I think, man, we're gonna have to expose the ugly underbelly of this situation, man, and put it out there on the table, and then people that hear it, they can either agree with it or not agree with it. But it's my opinion that as a black woman, this is my opinion, brother. So I'm not saying that this is written in stone, but my opinion, based on observation, that because they are a black woman, your arms always should be open, and no matter what the attitude, no matter what the behavior, no matter what, as a black man, you're supposed to always have your arms open and your forehead up so you can get thumped on it, whenever it's desired. That's my opinion of just looking at how, because I've seen a lot of women say, in their 20s, they say, I'm just out here dating, I'm just enjoying my life, having a good time and everything. It's not no problem. And so I'll think about getting married when I'm 30, maybe 35. But not realizing how reality is, that's a little late to be trying to date, qualified guys at that point. But they feel like, hey, after they get done, especially the ones listening to the current women in hip hop, with the masculine frame and everything, and they just talk about how they can bag bodies and it's all good. They think they can just bag a bunch of bodies, and then there'll always be some fool sitting at the waiting at the end of the rainbow with his arms open. A black cat should be, right? So when
right.
but they're getting to the end of the rainbow, brother. They're getting to the end of the rainbow, and it's like it's nobody's there. It's nobody there. It's like you remember that movie Hollywood Shuffle?
Yeah.
Okay, and so in Hollywood Shuffle, man, they're at the black acting school, man, and so the dude was like they was all runaway slaves, and the white chick ran away with them. She was like, "I'm leaving with you," you know what I mean? And so she left with him, and they was all like hiding behind in the bunker, right? And so, the person doing the Underground Railroad was like, "Come on, come on, come on!" And so the dude, instead of helping the sisters, helped the white lady, and they just took off. So the sisters are like sitting there with their arms out, like, yo, like, so they just like, hey, they looked at each other, they just like, we got to just do it on our own, but I'm saying that's I think that's what a lot of the sisters that's been dealing with the women's movement, whatever you want to call it, the women empowerment movement, they have, like I was saying before in the previous podcast, they had it did a lot for white women and the black women. I got to give it to the black woman, got a lot out of it too, career wise. They got a lot out of it career-wise. But it did the same thing that it did to the white women, which is it was a disaster for their relationships. Welfare was a disaster for black relationships. And now the women's movement on top of that was an added atom bomb to already struggling black relationships. So, my point is this: they're getting to they're having all these career, accolades and their achievements and everything. They're moving and getting a lot of stuff done. Those of them that are, and when they get into the end of the rainbow, thinking that okay, there's going to be a pool of people waiting there to cheer you on, a pool of brothers. But there ain't a pool of I won't say there's always going to be a pool of men around, but a pool of what you call that?
Overqualified.
Well, qualified or desired men. You know what I'm saying? Like men that you desire gonna be there, but there ain't no men that you desire ain't gonna be there because most men ain't gonna wait till you turn 30 and you get your career going before they decide to start a family. Most men. There's some out there that will, but most are not. Most are not. Most are going to try to get that done in their 20s, at least starting a family in their 20s. So it's hard for them to figure out how to do both, how to chase their career and chase a relationship and keep relationship together, plus not being taught how to be a wife. You know, most of the sisters don't know how to be a wife, but they want the brother to be like, I don't know how to be a wife. I don't want you to teach me. I don't want to learn, but I want you to treat me put me in that position. Like I don't know how to be the president, but just vote me in office. We'll see we'll just see what happens. You know what I mean? So I have no experience, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But the only experience I have is messing stuff up, bankruptcies. But, you just put me in office and let's see what happens. So that's my opinion of what's happening. But I know we got more layers to uncover, but that's my opinion. But I just noticed that a lot of them are, that I've seen online, are getting it in their heads that it's not them. Like it's not the woman that's the problem. It's not black women that's an issue. It's you desire a white woman so bad that you just out the gate like that, you know what I mean? So she don't even have a chance. And I don't know how you feel about that or where you stand on that, but that's the way I see it.
That's like asking somebody, although the food is nasty, go ahead and eat it anyway. I mean, it's still food, right?
Right.
You got a nasty, jacked up attitude, but you want me to be with you and your attitude jacked up.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's not even fair.
Yeah.
No, you're not even being practical.
Right.
You don't care anything about me. It's all about you and how you feel.
Right.
So, I mean, but, I hate to admit it, but it does seem to be the attitude of sisters. But they don't see themselves like that. They say, well, it's you. It's you.
Right.
Well, it is me. It is me. Partly me. But, you want the queen's position, but you don't want to do the queen's work.
Right.
See, one thing about the queen on the chessboard, the queen can do all the moves of everybody else. And that's the key to the chess. But her job is to protect him, right. The king. The king can only go one block at a time.
Right.
But the queen can go diagonal. She can go straight. Right. She can do like a rook move, an L. The queen can do every move that all the other positions can do. Right. That's how powerful a woman is. Most times, the black woman, you really don't know who you are. You really don't know. And if the relationships last, it's because of you. A lot of times, if a relationship ends, it's because of you. Because most times men don't give up.
Almost always
men,
because of them.
Yeah, right. It's you. And you have to realize that it's you, not him. It's you. You know, unless he's just a no good so-and-so. But again, that's an exception. I mean, that's not in general because there's no good so-and-so. Why'd you pick him? That's another story. You know, but like I said, the key is you, meaning her. The woman, the black woman, you are the key. You've always been the key. That's why in slavery, you the prize. Yeah. He conquered us, but you're the prize. There's a reason why, like you said earlier, the welfare program literally decimated or just like you said, nuclear bomb relationships in the black community. Because you couldn't be on welfare and a man be around.
Right.
Because you had a man around, they took the welfare check away.
Right.
So they put you right, it was a trick, they put you right back into slave mode.
Right.
So you putting your man out, thinking, I gotta watch out for these kids.
Right.
You know, and he ain't this and he ain't that. Well, what he is or what he ain't has been taken from him. His whole manhood has been taken from him.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get you to see that. Yeah. You know, you didn't want to hear it. The only thing you know is I got to do for these kids.
Right.
And again, that's another story. You know, but to say, you know, these men, y'all just fawning and falling and doing all these for these black women. It ain't that we falling for them. Like I said, one, you talk about the exception, but two, I mean, she cooking me a good meal that got taste to it, that tastes good. You giving me slop, but you expect me just to eat it? I mean, come on, man. That's not even fair.
Yeah.
You're just gonna throw something on my plate or just throw it at me.
But that was,
you know, she come.
Well, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I'm saying that's the basic argument. The basic argument is no matter what condition I'm in as a black female, you should be standing at the end of the rainbow with open arms. You should it should be a frenzy over me. See, what they're getting confused, in my opinion, is of course you're gonna have a frenzy over you in your 20s. Of course, you young, you tender. Of course you're gonna have a frenzy over you. You know what I mean? But you ain't gonna have that same frenzy at 30, at 35, at 40. You're not gonna have that same frenzy.
Right. You're still pulling now.
Yeah, you always go, man. She always gonna pull. Now.
Yeah, the black woman always gonna pull. Yeah, young and old, it don't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
She don't age like everybody else. But go ahead. She don't age like everybody else.
Well, I'm saying, man, she gonna always pull, man. Just off of the way she resonates and vibrates through the universe, brother. She just gonna pull, man. That energy is so strong. It's captivating. Remember?
Right.
Don't stare at the movements of the black woman.
Right. What he said was, lower your gaze and beware of her movements when she walks. You don't even walk like everybody else, meaning the black woman. You don't even walk like everybody else.
Yeah.
You, like you said, what you generate or what you resonate off, you come into the room and get everybody's attention. Yeah. Ain't nobody shaped like you. Don't nobody look like you. Don't nobody walk like you.
Nobody even bounces off the atoms of the universe like her. So of course she's gonna always attract, because it's gonna be something that people have a desire to have at the core. The problem is the supporting of behavior and supporting mental stability. A lot of times is not there. And that's what gets dudes caught up. Once they get to, the attraction is there. So they, this is what men do. Men put you in one or two categories. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Those are only two categories you end up in. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Now, when you end up in the yes, I can category, you either are slated for a immediate, takedown, or you become a project. Oh, this might take me 3 months. This might take me 6 months. But in the process of that project situation, the person might say, okay, I see this person based on their behavior and their attitude. This is not a long-term situation that's going to be here. This is just, I'm just going to be here for a minute and handle this, and then I'm out. You know, they decide all that up front. You know what I mean? But the problem is nobody's telling black women the truth, man. Then when you are telling the truth, like brother we was talking about earlier, you know, they don't want to hear it. Most of them, they don't want to hear it. I saw where brother was telling the sister, man, he asked the sister, you know, rate yourself what you think you are between 1 and 10. You can't use 7. Man, sister was obviously a 3 or 2. And she said, I'm a 10. And he was like, what? And he was trying to talk to her in a rational way to get her to understand that she was just delusional. She was way out there. But I think that's reflective of most of the sisterhood, man, where they got such a you know, inflated version of themselves in their head just because dudes are talking to them still. And they may not be talking to them at a point where they want to say, oh, well, I'm trying to get with you in a long-term relationship. They're trying to hit it. Now, whatever you trying to do as a woman, hey, ain't nobody judging you. You know what I mean? You just got to know what's going to come with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what's going to come with it. You know, you don't order one thing and then expect something else to come. You order this, you know it's gonna come at the end of it. You know, so if you want to be out here dropping bodies, saying how, you know, you a woman, here you roar. You out here dropping bodies like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and et cetera, then at the end of the road, you know, what you think is going to be at the end of the road? I mean, it's going to, you know, but in their minds, it's always going to be a sucker at the end of that road waiting for them with open arms. And when they're not, it's because you love white women. That's why. It's your innate love of white women. Not, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to clean. I don't have a proper attitude. I'm not desirable. My sexual market value is 0. You know, none of that is. Those things are not. You know, they don't factor that stuff in. Well, at least most sisters don't factor that in. And then because the brothers, and then you know, and it is some brothers that come out the gate, man. Some brothers, because of whatever trauma that they have seen, or they saw their mother mistreating their father, or something, they say, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with no black woman. It's just too much drama. They deal with white women, and they find out it's pretty much similar drama, just packaged different. But they say, I'm willing to deal with this drama. I just don't want to deal with that drama. But like I said, we got to get to the point where, why do they feel that way? Why do black women feel that way? What is it that's making them? We doing assumptions, so we can throw assumptions out there. What is it that's making them think, you know what? I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but how come ain't nobody at the end of the rainbow waiting for me? What's going on?
Well, you were promised. Well, you were given a bunch of lies if you thought that pursuing your career and even being successful in whatever line of field you in. And I'm not going to take that away from you, being a black woman. If God has something for you to do, then you have to pursue that because that's what you were born for. But I heard a minister say that That's not where your joy and love come from, or really even should be in. Your joy, your love really come from, you know, I don't want to use the term keeping house, but you know, your real joy
Ouch.
and your real purpose comes from your family, your man, yes, and your children. That's
Well,
where your real joy and your real love lies. It's right there
well,
in your man and in your children.
did the Bible say that she's your helpmeet?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so we not writing our own Bible here, right? We're not Jim Jones. We're not writing our own Bible here. We're not saying nothing. We just telling what's there, right? That's what's there. You supposed to be helping me, and in the course of helping me, I'm going to help you.
Right.
But your first job is to be helping me. If you calling yourself a wife. If you want to be single, be single. But if you're going to call yourself a wife, you're supposed to come in and improve what you see that you can, whatever you can see that needs to be improved, that you can improve, you're supposed to improve it.
Right.
And bring good things. And that brings good things out of me. And then that's how relationship work, man. It's just yin and yang.
And you benefit. You benefit when you bring good things out of me. You benefit from bringing the good things out of me.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
You benefit from that.
But Brother Jar, I would say nobody. There is not a lot of places where the sisterhood is getting taught that, man. They're getting taught the yin and the yang of a relationship. They actually enter relationships feeling like, well, see, now it's not their fault all the way, because I'm gonna say this: a lot of times we as men, we enter the relationship on the bottom plane, right? You walk into a bar with you see a girl you like, she's sitting there by herself, or she's sitting there with her friends. What's the first thing you do? You go up to her, hi, can I buy you a drink? Right?
Right.
You're already putting yourself below her by offering to pay for her a drink. Somebody you don't even know. You ain't even sat there and talked to her. You don't even know who you dealing with. You buying her time. Right? With a drink. I'm gonna buy your time. Just like they did in, the old West, right? They come in and the women be in the place, and they to even talk to the woman, they gotta buy her drinks. Okay, so now you coming in buying drinks. Now, I'm going to tell you, brother, it just made sense. This philosophy made sense when women outnumbered men. This philosophy makes no sense in today's world because, when men outnumbered the women, when men outnumbered the women, that philosophy made sense, right? Because now you have to compete for women because the men outnumbered the women. But now the women outnumber the men. Available women outnumber available men. Why in the world do you have to do anything to compete for a woman? If this woman don't want you, move on to the next one. Why are we competing for women? It's stupid. In today's world, it makes no sense when there's 16. Well, we're in California. In California, it's 16 available women to one available man. 16. Why are you buying anybody a drink? That's crazy to me. But then, like I said, I'm on a different thinking process. But a lot of guys, but how a lot of guys, how we do it, man? We come in, oh, can I buy you a drink? And then what do? After that, if that ain't bad enough, then she may say, oh, I can't drink nothing unless my friend gets something to drink. And now you buy all 4 of her friends something to drink. You $50, $60 in the hole already. You don't
just
know.
so she won't call you cheap.
Well, just so you got a chance to talk to her because she got a tight skirt on. Ridiculous, in my opinion. But anyway, this is how we, in her mind, she's saying, this man, this is what he willing to go through just to talk to me. He ain't even nowhere close to closing a deal sexually. He's just trying to talk to me now. And so she just keep watching how low you going to sink to be in her good graces. So you buy her friends a drink. You may buy a whole nother round. Now you $100 in with some people you don't even know, because on a hope and a prayer, right? But you showed this lady how, and so what you do after that? Meanwhile, in the meantime, while you in between buying these rounds of drinks, what's the next thing you do? You're loading her up with confidence. You're loading her up with compliments. Excuse me, loading her up with compliments. I mean, just everything wrong. Everything wrong. Everything wrong. What's going to happen when you load this girl up with a bunch of compliments? She's going to be like, this is another sucker, man. I'm going to break this dude. I don't even like him, but I'm going to break him. We're just going to have fun, and we're going to have this dude pay for our drinks tonight. Or maybe you do get in there. She put you on the back burner for a year. What is it? I mean, how we doing business, brother, is crazy. And we setting them up in the mentality to think that there's always going to be a sucker waiting at the end of the line, in my opinion. Now, I feel like, if you want the women to change, the men got to change. We got to set another standard so that the women will change. The women ain't gonna change. The women, see, right now, man, in my opinion, man, especially sisterhood, man, they don't view you as an asset. They don't view having a man in their life as an asset until a black man until they get so far down the line, they don't have nothing to negotiate with to try to get somebody who's actually a good dude, which, there always was always been on the table. It's obvious as the sexual market value. That's what was always used to be, a big negotiating factor. But when your sexual market value is plummeted, you can't use that to negotiate no more, right? If you notice, a lot of older women, they'll say, "I'm a good woman." How are you a good woman? I got an MBA and I got a house and I did this, and they don't understand. That don't mean nothing to no man.
Not to a man. We don't care about that. No.
That's not nothing to negotiate. A relationship with that's no. You can't negotiate the terms of a relationship. Well, I got a house, so because we know what that means. We move in with you, we know what that means. It's 100% control. You got 100% control this situation. We already know. Anybody that's smart knows you don't move in with no woman, because once you do, that's it. You are under her control, man. You gonna
brother? I heard a minister say that's a bad deal, brother. Moving in with her is a bad deal. She can move in with you.
Yeah.
You can't move in with her.
Yeah. And I would be weary of that one. I would be slow moving to that one. You know what I mean? But that's the better option out of the two, because you move in with her, brother.
Every time an argument come up, the first thing she gonna say is, "Get out.
Get your stuff and get out. You better call Tyrone."
Oh yeah.
You gonna be like,
every time an argument come up, that's the first thing she gonna say, "Get out."
Man. And what can you say?
Because even when you say get out, 10 minutes later, she puts it in your mouth. She ain't gotta go.
Yeah.
You know, but when she say get out, she mean that.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah. Well,
and we'll call the police.
Well, at up to a certain age, she's got qualified people investigating the situation. So if she could say, "Hey, go," you could go. I was watching this video, man. A beautiful sister, man, got caught dealing with another dude. Got caught, right?
Right.
It's her place, man. She was like, "Get out." He was like, "But I caught you." She was like, "So what? Get out."
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
But you put yourself in that position, moving up in there.
Yeah.
Put yourself in that position, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't never answer that call like that, man.
No.
So our brothers, man, we walking into these. We're showing black women that there's two types of brothers, and now they call them alpha males and beta males. Basically, the two types of brothers. And
you said alpha and beta.
Alpha.
I was gonna say metro. Go ahead.
And beta.
Beta. Okay, I was gonna say metro, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just talking about what's going around online. So
okay.
The alpha and the beta. So they say that the alpha male, he just come in, man. He just take what he want, and if you ain't giving it, he gone. And the beta male go ahead, bro.
No, then I ask a man.
Okay.
A real man don't put up with too much.
Right.
But it does take a little bit of time to get to the point to where you know what, a woman is extremely powerful. The black woman, she don't know it.
Yeah.
He is the head.
Yeah.
He do run it. But the cold part, you run him. Yeah, he the car, but you in the driver's seat.
If you only know.
If you know who you are and make him think it was his idea.
Yeah.
You stroke his ego enough. Yeah, baby, you got it. We can do it.
Yeah.
Even when you know and you paying yourself, with God's help, we can do it.
Yeah.
I hope he can do it. But you tell him he can do it.
Man.
Now, he's stupid enough to listen to you. I can do it? Yeah. Oh, well, she believes in me.
Yeah. That's all I need.
Yeah. Now, she's praying to God that you can do it. She don't believe you can do it.
Yeah.
He told you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, again, well, I was getting to a real man, and I shouldn't say real, but, when you get to that alpha status, and I heard a minister say that, leaders are born, they're not made. America makes leaders. Mm-hmm. God breeds them.
Right.
That alpha male. I really want to know what's the definition of the beta.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the definition of beta. According to people online, what I've read and heard online, the beta male, he's the kind of guy that's gonna, if the female is going to say, well, I'm not, because sometimes you can hit a female, man. She ain't a bad person. She's just in the middle of something. She can't just drop that to go deal with you. She's in the middle of dealing with another person. So
understandable. It could be your children. That's a good example.
Yeah. Her children or another man or another relationship. She could be in another relationship. So the alpha male is gonna be like, okay, you dealing with that? Cool. Get with me when you done with that. And boom, I'm gone. Whereas the beta male will be one of those orbiters. He'll still be, hi, I was calling to check on you, see how you were doing. But I got a man, my man right here. Yeah, I know, but I just, maybe you needed me to run to the store or something. He's going to be offering to do stuff that he thinks that the regular guy ain't doing, the man on deck ain't doing. And so he's going to hang around until he gets what happens to him. He gets remember Star Wars, man, where they was they hit the light speed, bam, they hit the light speed, they out of there, and then they was supposed to be at the planet, but the Death Star had blew that planet up, so they was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So then they said, well, let's fly close to that little moon over there. So they had to go to the moon, and then Obi-Wan Kenobi's like, that's not no moon. Turn around. It was a Death Star, right? Like, that's no moon. Turn around. You know what I mean? He's like, try to turn around. They can't turn around. They ain't a tractor beam, right?
Right.
That's what happens to brothers like that. They get a tractor beam right into the friend zone, right? Like the Venus fly trap. You get sucked right in there, right?
The F word.
So now they in the friend zone, bro. They're in the friend zone. We're talking about the beta males. They're in the friend zone.
Yeah. They never let you out of that. But go ahead. They never let you out.
Well, see, then by the time this cat realized he's in the friend zone, it's a shock to him. He's like, what? I thought I was making progress. I thought I was getting somewhere, right? So now he tried to do something drastic to get out of there. Hey, let me take you to this. You need. He tried to spin his way out of it.
Or he makes a pass. Or he makes a pass at her.
Well, I don't think he's close enough to make the pass, but he trying to get close enough to make the pass. So he tried to do something. He tried to up the ante. You know, all this time it's been, he been running little errands. Now he try to up the ante, and I bought you this $100 thing, and no big deal. I saw your car note paper there. I just paid it. Try to up the ante. Yeah, he tried to up the ante, spin his way out of it. But instead, no, he dig with every dollar he digging himself deeper.
Yeah.
Right. But my point is, he gets sucked into that situation, and that's the beta he don't realize. By the time he finally figure out there ain't no coming back from this position, but by the time he figured that out, he's down money, he's down time, he's down, and he's had to listen to this. He had to listen.
You're in a black hole.
Yeah, he's in a black hole, and he had to listen to this conversation. Oh my gosh, this guy. I mean, I was gonna tell you about this other guy's penis, but let me tell you about this guy's penis. Oh my God, and he's been. I mean, right on the border of that conversation. If not, it depends on how much she respects him. If she respects him enough, she probably won't go straight into it. She'll probably say something like, "Man, this dude, I don't like him that much." Well, they use a code word. They'll say, "I don't like him this much." Well, why he's still hanging around? I don't know. Those are code words for he doing something, right? He doing something. Yeah, he ain't. He don't treat you right or nothing, but he doing something. Whereas, he and who wants to be in that situation? I don't care if you're friends with a woman. Who wants to hear that conversation? I don't think any real man wants to hear that conversation.
No man, even if he has a quote unquote biological sister. I've never talked to either one of my biological sisters about what they did with another man. That's not a conversation you have.
Of course not. Of course not. But I'm saying this is the difference between the beta. The alpha ain't gonna have that conversation. You ain't gonna even be able to get to that point with an alpha dog. He's not gonna let you have that conversation with him. He's gonna say,
"Hey, B word, who you talking to?"
The alpha dog is gonna be like in the fish market. Is my number up? Not my number.
Right.
Okay, I'll go back out in the car and wait until my number come back, and then y'all can call me. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey.
But this beta dude will, is it my number yet? No, it's this person's number. And that person they get the fish, they open the fish right there and eat the fish in the front person's face. Oh, that was so good. That was so good.
Yeah.
Then
you just looking.
He's just looking, and then the next man number get called. You're like,
dummy.
But I was here before him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they say, well, you in the friend zone, man, so your food's gonna wait. Matter of fact, you might not. Yeah. We might run out before you get it.
Not knowing your number will never be called because once you hit the friend zone,
your number never coming up. But she ain't gonna tell you your number ain't never gonna come up because of the goodies you bringing along. Just because of the vanity that she got to see how far you gonna go to try to get out the friend zone. She gonna keep you there. So you keep trying, you keep swinging, and she like, oh, that's cute. He bought me these shoes. He bought me this. He bought me that. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. So that's the difference. You know, the alpha dog will recognize up front he ain't getting nothing for his time. He's out. The beta dude, I'm just breaking it down. And the beta dude will not recognize that immediately. He will sit around thinking that friendship with her eventually may lead to something. And it may once in a while. But typically typically it's not going to lead anywhere except to the trash can. But, dudes use that as
although a woman will they'll swear to God, they'll tell you, oh, we were friends before we got together. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Stop lying to yourself.
Well,
you were never friends. Yes, we were. No, you weren't.
They was friends in her mind. He was always chasing it. He was always after it. They was friends in her from her perspective. They was friends, and he waited and waited. Girl, he waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and sat on the porch and waited until and so that's why I said I had to give him a chance. 6 months later, girl, I'm bored to death. I'm good. Like Martin, right? Martin, isn't the Knicks on or something? Isn't the basketball game on? No, I just want to lay up with you. Ain't the Knicks playing? Something's going on, ain't it? Right? Well, brother just don't realize, man. You know what I mean? You have the position they in. But I'm saying that to say that we starting off on the wrong foot, so we giving the sister the wrong impression. So they going through life thinking that, man, it's always going to be a sucker waiting at the end of the rainbow. And we already in a backwards position. When we get into these relationships, we're already in a backwards position. After we done bought drinks, let's say we did try to, spend our way out of it, and then what ends up happening is you date somebody for a while, and then what ends up happening is her mama, her cousin, her sister, the church, somebody keeps putting pressure on her. You still seeing that young man, right? How long has it been? 2 years, 3 years, whatever. That should be enough time for him to realize you're somebody special. So he should make a move on you. If he's not, that's not a good sign. So they pump their head up like that. Now this man might be going through a PhD program, MBA program, get a law degree, whatever, right? Chasing his financial stability so that when he do marry this girl, he's ready, he's steady, right? But he gets what almost every person that's gotten married gets is the ultimatum. You have got to give me a date or a time when I'm going to get married.
God.
Right? Because my mama said we living in sin. The pastor said we living in sin.
God.
My Aunt Remy said we living in sin. I ain't going to listen to that no more. You got to do something.
You don't even want to know what the pastor doing, but go ahead.
Hey, man. I'm just telling you, man, that's what they said. Brother Jarvis, that's what she said. The pastor said we living in sin.
Pastor said a lot of things.
We live down the street from the pastor's girlfriend, right? It's like I'll be seeing so much.
One of his car being that driveway.
Yeah, man. Praying with the little sister. Anyway, but we start off on a bad foot, man. So here's another question. How can we, since I just expressed how we start off on a bad foot with all this different thing, with complimenting them right away, what they call that today, if you look on the internet, they call that validating a female, giving her validation by you complimenting her and talking to her, and you giving her validation. I don't know if it is, probably is. I don't know. I never usually use those terms, but that's what they call it, giving her validation. But I'm saying, how can we start off meeting a woman and not put ourselves in the hole spiritually in that relationship, or mentally in her mind in that relationship? How can we do that without giving her all of this attention or not attention, but giving her all of these signs and signals that we feel that she's on some type of pedestal above us, and we're lucky to be dealing with her, instead of we're trying to make it so that we're both getting something out of this.
There is no, the right foot is, again, it keeps going back to her. Even if she's not interested in you physically, or in other words, you meet a sister that you really like, you're very, 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 very much so attracted to her.
All right.
And you want her to know that you're attracted to her. There's nothing wrong with that part.
Okay.
The part that's wrong is when, even though you're very, very much attracted to her, and even if she's not attracted to you, there's a way for sisters, black women, to let the black man down. Okay, you don't like him. That's fine. Yeah. But to feel like, oh man, you should look at me like this, or I am better than you. There's a story in the Bible about the angel who thought he was better than everybody else.
Right.
But when you feel like you're better, or you should get these accolades, or you should look at me like this. You're very proud as a woman, or you're very into your looks, and I know how I look, so you should come at me like that. When there's no real humility there, you've already lost from the start. Meaning, man, no matter what you say, even if you come at her humble, even if the only way to get her and just to sleep with her is to come at her like you don't want her. Then she may give you some attention. But that's not starting a real relationship. So there is no, I'm not gonna say there is no, but to start off on a good foot, it's on her. Yeah. She has to, she shouldn't think of herself more than she should. It's on her. So, because there's nothing wrong with coming at a woman and letting her know, I think you're a nice looking woman.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when after that point, you're sitting there in your head like, okay, what do I say now? Those are nice shoes. Those are nice shirt. And start complimenting like crazy, right? Because she responds to that, right? You see her respond. Yeah. She go, hey man, let me tell you something, bro Jarvis. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like when a black woman is digging what you doing,
right?
Man, I mean,
it don't matter what you say. You can be stumbling over your words.
Man, if she digging what you saying, the vibe she put out, man. You done forgot that you too months late on your rent. You forgot that you got one shoe on, and the other shoe is a whole nother type of shoe because you was running out of the house.
Right.
You forgot all about that because once she start purring like that, man.
Right.
Ain't nothing like that. I ain't never seen nobody else with that effect.
Right.
On a man.
Right.
Except for the sisterhood.
Right. Right. Like you said, it's like tuning a car. You ever heard a car run rough?
Yeah.
And the old school cars had carburetors. They didn't have fuel injection. Yeah. And there's a little screw on there. Really, there's three of them. And there's a little screw on there. And you turn that screw clockwise or counterclockwise, and that whole car will just level out.
Yeah.
It'll you turn that screw, it'll just level out.
Yeah.
That's what she does to you. Like you said, you come up to her, hey, you got nice shoes, your hair nice. And when she starts purring like a kitten and she's relaxed, that spirit jumps on you. Yeah. And all of a sudden you talking like, oh man, Rico Suave. You say, yeah, baby, I got this.
Yeah.
You just smoothed out. Yeah. She turned your screw.
Right.
She tuned you in.
Right.
You know, she smoothed you out.
Right.
You know, but when she coming like, nigga, with that attitude, you stumbling more and more. Hell, you just fell off the cliff. Now you just getting worse and worse. It's on her. Yeah. It's on her.
Yeah.
You know, even if she don't like you, you know, she can just let it be known. And there's a way to let a man down. You know, because she can feel if you like her or not. She can say, you know, thank you for the compliment, but you know what? I'm married. You know, even if you ain't married, tell her you married. You know, you don't want to be. You don't like him.
Oh, you're a lesbian.
So get him off it. Oh, there you go. You can tell him that.
Yeah.
You know, you stop all that.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, that, he should straighten up. I said, oh, wow. I mean, that's total rejection. Yeah. I mean, it's not rejection, but, no, it's rejection. But let him down easy. You don't like him. Let him know right now. He's already sized you up in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We can size you up in 5 minutes.
Who, the man?
The man, yeah.
The man sized you up in 2 seconds, brother. 2 seconds. 2 seconons.
I already know what I want. I already know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Just looking at you. Okay, I know. Like you said. Okay. Either I can deal with it or I can't.
Yeah. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, based on her attitude and behavior, she can extend her time. She can extend her time in, you know, in the man's life. But right away, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna dig my way to China.
I'm always on.
Yeah.
Right. I'm always on the hunt.
Yeah.
Always. I stay on the hunt.
Yeah.
I already sized you up.
You fall into your parameters of what you like. The average dude, man, girl fall into. I remember one time, brother. I think, hey, man. I don't know if you remember a brother named Pat, man. We working back in the 80s, brother Jarvis. Well, it was a brother. Well, let me explain the story. So, brother was working with me at a shoe store, and
Foot Locker.
Correct. And so, brother was working with me, and so it was slow in the store. So we was all standing around, and brother, everybody was from a different part of the country. This brother was from Chicago. Another brother was from North Carolina. Another brother was from a couple brothers was from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And then of course some of us was from LA. So including myself. So we was all, you know, chopping it up, talking about crazy stories we had, right? So the brother Pat, man, the brother Pat was saying he was on the platform one day, man. He was on the platform trying to get to work, man. So he said he jumped into the train in Chicago, man. He sat down, man. He said he looked directly straight across from him. He said his sister was fine. He said his sister was so fine. He said I ain't never seen a sister that fine before or after that. She was fine. He said she was so fine, brother. Tears started coming out of his eyes. From where we were sitting, where he was sitting, he said tears started coming out of my eyes. I was like, why tears was coming out of your eyes? He said, because I knew I could never talk to her. I just knew it. My self-confidence was so low, I could just never. I knew I was way out of range for her.
Out of her league, which I don't believe in. But go ahead. Yes,
yeah. So, man, we were on the ground because how can you see somebody that looks that good? I mean, who looks that good? I mean, granted, I've seen some beautiful women, but nobody looks that good to where I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, nobody.
Yeah, I'm gonna start crying. If I can't talk to her, I can't talk to her. Oh well, that's that. No big deal. But it was the point that, you know, he was like, man, you know, I didn't have nothing. It was basically, I didn't have nothing prepared or staged that I could say that I knew would be good in her good graces or anything like that. I knew it. I was.
He had nothing to offer.
Yeah, well, that's what he felt. That's what he felt. And so I was like, man, I said, that is crazy. That is crazy.
Right.
But that's how we probably most of
Yeah,
us
that's how we see ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, as a black man, we don't see ourselves as a value. Like you said about my man the other week, you surgically put a diamond in your forehead. The only reason why somebody who would be crazy enough to do that, you're trying to add value to yourself.
Wow.
Because you don't see yourself as worth anything.
Wow.
So I'm going to add value to myself. You're going to take a rock that's been put, or a piece of coal that's been put under an enormous amount of pressure for thousands of years, and it came out a diamond. But you're way more valuable than that piece of rock. You just don't know you are. So you're trying to add value to yourself.
Man.
So that's why he looked at her and he's like, oh, wow, I have nothing to offer. You're a black man. But somebody told you you're worthless. The world told you you're worthless. And we walk around like we're worthless. Yeah. But it ain't all our fault either. No. Because who adds value to us? The black woman. If you would talk to me and look at me, even though I know he tore me down to nothing, but if you told me, nah, you something.
Yeah.
You're something. You're something.
Well, see,
you don't hear it enough.
I hear you, brother, but are we to wait for the sisterhood to come into their own and realize this, or what can we do about that situation? I mean, we're gonna have to do something ourselves until they get to a point of understanding and knowledge and wisdom to understand that that's the position they should be in. Because right now we're divided. It's them thinking that we don't want to be with them because we just want to be with other people instead of them. But they're not realizing most black men that go to other races have been traumatized by trying to be with black women. They don't realize that, so they discount that, and they say, well, this person just want to be with somebody. No, just like most black women that be with other races of men have been traumatized by black men. They quick to point that out. Oh, this person was beat up and this and that, but they don't say the same thing. They don't qualify the brotherhood on the same page. But my question to you was, you were talking about they should how the black woman should have that humility in her dealings with the black man. It should be that humility there. My question to you is, how, if let's say you meet a woman, but that humility is not there, how do you get that, or can you put that humility into her?
Yeah, you have to go pimp. Yeah, go pimp mode in order to get her to. I mean, if she's cute and or, as they say, fine, and she know it, I got to knock you down. There's no other way to get your attention because everybody told you you're cute or fine.
Be specific, Brother Jarvis. What specifically are you saying that needs to be done?
Man, sometimes it's a game. Sometimes if you know her, sometimes you have to ignore her. Sometimes you have to give her what I call a backhand compliment. Like, oh man, that dress is, it's kind of cute. You're just a little chunky. You walk away. The only thing she heard was the chunky part.
Right.
That's only because that's what she gonna concentrate on, a flaw. Because everybody else thought that she looked good on it. You the only one who said you just a little chunky. Okay. You walked away. Now you got all her attention.
Okay.
Because the only thing she can see is the exception. That's pimp mode. That's what pimps do. Always got you doubting.
Right.
There's a certain school of thought out there that doubt, or is taught, doubt is the mother of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Beware of somebody who always got doubt. Will question every little thing.
Right.
But that's what pimps do.
Right.
Always putting doubt in the hole. Always, no matter what, you need me. So, you can't never do nothing right.
So
it ain't never quite right.
Let me put it on a spiritual level. So basically, they take your faith away, because you should have faith in the Creator that you are the original man. You can do whatever you want to do. If you decide you're going to do this, you're going to do it. I ain't saying ain't gonna be no
Right.
problems, ain't gonna be no challenges. But if you the original man, you can go do it. But
Right.
they snatched your faith away from you, which then opens you up. Without your faith, it opens you up for a cavalcade of problems. Because now, if you ain't focused on the fact that the creator of the universe has got my back, then you're gonna be like, oh, he ain't got my back, or oh, this man got my back. And by the
Right.
time you figure that out, how that situation go, you have to
Right.
constantly accept, like you said, you start getting back at compliments. You know what? You was fine a week ago, but I don't know what's going on with you now. You might be picking up a little weight, something like, you know what I mean? Like you said, them back at
Yeah.
compliments
Right.
and get busted down, busted down, busted down, busted down, busted down. Now,
Right.
this is where I'm going to interject in what you were saying. Yes, that can work, but remember, if you keep busting down somebody that needs your approval, eventually they're gonna always need your approval, and they're gonna have to. They're not gonna be a lot of fun to be around if you busted them down so far. So remember that. I think that's a strategy that you're talking about if you're just trying to, hit and run. If you're really trying to be in a relationship with a woman, busting her down might seem like a good idea in the beginning, but it's like a payday loan. It's far worse on the back end. It's far worse on the back end because this woman is going to be a nightmare to deal with because she's going to constantly need validation. You're going to constantly need, like a little kid, constantly need you to keep saying, yeah, we're going to go to Disneyland. I told you we was going to Disneyland. Yeah, we're going to go to Disneyland. I told you we're going to go to Disneyland. You're going to constantly have to keep talking to this chick. And then eventually a woman with low self-esteem is easier to deal with. A woman with no self-esteem is difficult. I don't see how you can deal with a woman with no self-esteem. A woman with what you want is a woman with enough self-esteem in herself to be able to know that she should back up, when to back up, when to sit down, when to be quiet. You want somebody with that much strength. But a woman, when you done busted her down and she ain't got no strength, she ain't got no, I mean, that's the kind of woman that ain't gonna wash no clothes for 3 weeks, ain't gonna clean her house. She just busted down to the last compound. That's and I'm saying we shouldn't be doing that to our women. We shouldn't do that to no women, but we definitely shouldn't be doing it to our women. Bust them down all the way. If you got to, open their head up, sometimes you got to bust their head open so they can see what's going on. And when I say bust their head up, I'm not talking about nothing physical. I'm talking about sometimes you got to say something to them that shock them. That
Right.
you got to shock them so that they can understand.
Right.
They can open their brain and say, "Oh, wow, this is not what I thought it was." You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm saying we don't need to put our women all the way. And I know you're not saying this either, so that's why I'm clearing it up for you. We're not saying putting our women, in the trash can and putting them on the bottom of the trash can and stepping on them. We're just saying sometimes you may have to go another route. You may have to, compliments ain't always gonna get, make things better. Sometimes you have to hit them with the truth right between the eyes. Maybe that's gonna work for you. Anyway, sorry, brothers, for me to interrupt you.
No problem. Like I said, well, the question was, I mean, how do you get around that? I mean, what? I mean, there ain't no nice way to get around that. If she's so into herself and she's so, I know I'm cute, or she's so, I know I got it, there ain't no humility there. So you have to crack her upside her head, mentally. I mean, there ain't no nice way to do it.
Right.
Everybody else telling her she's fine. What are you gonna do? You gonna tell her the same thing? You amongst the rest of them. So how do you get her attention?
Yeah.
You gotta go pimp mode. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
There is no other way around that.
Okay.
She already know that. That's why Killer Red exists.
Right.
That's why Killer Red, you take her out to dinner.
Right.
And when you drop her off and get a peck on the cheek, he called Killer Red up. You dropped her off at 12. Y'all had a late dinner. He coming over at 12:30.
Yeah.
He right there. You fed her.
Yeah. And the money
He did the other F.
the money she saved when you paying for dinner, she bought him something to eat, and it's sitting there from Uber Eats or something.
Yeah.
By steak and lobster.
Yeah. But you fed her, So, that's why I answered that question when I did.
Well, getting back to our original question, I feel like most of these women are they don't qualify. Why they don't take into account the conditions that breed a lot of interracial relationships. Interracial relationships have a very low completion rate. And they are the lowest of relationships that last. Interracial relationships. It's a lot to overcome between one family over the other family and this and that. So they're the lowest as far as staying together. But it seemed like a lot of these black women, that I have heard, it seemed like they just feel like, man, no matter what, it don't matter. Black men are just that far into, white women in particular, but other races of women, just because. Not no, they don't lay out the reasons why black men go, just like we talk about athletes or celebrities. They have to go to different functions, right? Black women, you ain't at them functions. I mean, typically you're not there. If you're there, you are working. You're behind the scenes working the cameras or working the publicity situation. You're not really like there to party. Right?
Right.
Who is? Who's on deck? It's like I told you before, man, when we were talking a couple of podcasts ago before, the white women's equality movement, man, it did it brought them so far on the business side of things. It brought them far. But it was a disaster for their relationships. So the white man now is like, you're not the end all be all. Because once you decided that you wasn't going to marry me, she left the white man alone to where he was like, well, I got to explore other options. He went overseas to the Philippines. He went overseas to Russia. He went overseas to, he went to Brazil. He went to Haiti, not Haiti, but the Dominican Republic. And what's the other one over there? Oh my God, the Dominican,
Brazil,
Puerto Rico. I mean,
okay.
all of those, the Caribbean. In other words,
right.
He went to all of these different places. South America. He went to a lot of different places to get a lot of different types of women. Besides the Caucasian woman in America, because now he said, okay, since you want to chase your career, I got time now to explore other options. And that's so as the white man is exploring all these other options, brother, he's saying to the white woman in America, you don't qualify no more. And the white man has a standard, like their standard like 30. You still on the market at 30, you out to the pasture you go. Right? Out to the pasture you go. Because you telling me I can get somebody, I can pick up the phone and order somebody to come here from the Philippines or Malaysia or Japan or whatever. I can get an exotic woman here. I don't have to have somebody that's, like you. So that what does that do, Brother Jarvis? What does that do? That leaves a truckload or truckloads of available white women on the market. It's a surplus on the market, right? But I'm not talking about surplus of top notch. I'm talking about surplus of throwbacks, right? But they out here.
Yes, sir.
They out
Right.
here, and so now these sisters don't understand. You not only competing with younger versions of yourself. Now you're competing with the throwbacks that's out there, of the white women that's out there in the street. And if the dude's an athlete, it's white women that's young, that's out there on the prowl, and they like the sister in Coming to America. What do you like? Whatever you like. What do you want to do? Whatever you want to do. They taught me as I grew up to like only what you like. To only eat only what you cook, only what you like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they already out the gate like that. I'm talking about the young white ones. You know, and I'm thinking and the sisters are thinking, well, because we're black, we share the same heritage. I should like a veteran, you know, coming back from the war, I should get 5 points on this test because I'm a veteran, right? I should get a higher score on the test because I'm a sister.
Right.
When in fact, it's because a lot of the brothers have been traumatized by the sisterhood, they get lower scores. You coming in as a sister, oh, okay. You get a lower score.
Right.
Like, they don't understand sexual market value and how things impact sexual market value. Sexual market value is what most men use to negotiate. They will negotiate as long as you got a sexual market value. They will be willing to negotiate with you on the terms of a relationship if your sexual market value is high enough. But that's the thing. They don't realize that the things that impact, like for the average black woman think, I got kids, that means that this man looking at me like I'm good with kids. Ain't nobody looking at you like you good with kids. We men, we dumb. We think all women are good with kids until we see it, until they show us different. We think all women are good with kids. So that ain't like a plus. That's like you as a woman saying, yeah, you know, me as a man saying, I got hair on top of my head, so I got hair on top of my head. I know how to grow my hair on top of my head. She's gonna be like, I know all men know how to grow hair on top of their head. If they can grow it, they can grow it. It's gonna be on top of their head.
Right.
But that's my thing. Is I feel like they just are delusional, man, and somebody need to take them out of this delusion, man, and get them right. And
you know, that's to take them out of this delusion and get them right is going to be a fight because the black woman is so strong. Yeah. And again, as I've heard a minister say, you know, she's been holding the reins for so long. In other words, she's been the head of the house for so long. Yeah. She don't want to give them back.
No.
You know, she like the devil. The devil been ruling the planet for so long. Yeah. He's not going to just walk away from the throne.
Yeah.
You're going to have to kill him. Now, I'm not saying that for black women, but she's not going to just give you the reins back and you guide us with this cart, or you take the reins of the horse and you guide us. She ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
She's not going to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to not only prove that you're worthy of the reins, and you are. You really, really are. But even when you prove it, she still might not, the crazy one, still might not want to give them up. Because look at the black church, and that's another story. You know, the black church is ran by that sister. The whole sisterhood runs the black church.
All right.
Don't nothing move in that church if it don't go through that woman, on that woman's side.
Right.
Nothing. Right. Anything go down, it's going through them women.
Okay.
They pick the pastor and get rid of him. They do that, not the men.
Right.
It's them sisters.
Okay.
You know, now he might be up front, but they run the hell out of him. I don't care if he a pastor, Reverend Price Church. You know, they got rest his soul.
Yeah, R.I.P. Fred Price. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. God rest his soul. Them women, they run that church. Now, was I ever a member? No. Ain't there was no member over there. But I grew up in a black church. I know how the black churches ran.
Mm-hmm.
They run that. And he's a prominent, figure.
Yeah.
Not only him or his son, but them women run that. They don't do nothing without them women. Nothing.
Yeah.
Because see, the power has never been in a one man. Power comes from the people. I don't care. You can be the president of the United States. It's not him. It's not the president. It's the people that give him power.
Yeah.
That's where power comes from.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could be the figurehead. It's like a man. Getting back to her again, meaning the black woman. Yeah. Is he supposed to be a head? Yeah. He was elected the head. God said, you the head. You're right.
Yeah.
Everything go through him. But if you know who you are, you run him.
Okay. Well, brother, we always try to find solutions to these questions, man. We always try to find solutions that may have the people be able to come together and work together and make things better for the community. And so here's the part where I'm going to ask you, brother, what do you think we could do to create a situation where the sisters understand that their behavior can dictate whether black men will be more inclined to be with other races of women off the jump?
I don't know. Because we've already illustrated, and it gets misinterpreted. In other words, why he over there with that white woman? Because it's easier. Why you want to mess with her? Because she's easier to deal with. Now we've already demonstrated that. But you can tell her that and she wouldn't know. That's just what you want. No, I'm telling you. I'm over here because she's easier to deal with.
Right.
And you just like that. No, I like how she treat me.
Right.
That's what I like. I'm over here with you. And I heard a minister say again, there's nothing worse than living with a dissatisfied woman.
Ooh.
That's hell on earth. There's nothing worse than living with a dissatisfied woman. And the black woman says, man.
Yeah, that was just what I was coming to, brother. I mean, a dissatisfied woman is bad, but a dissatisfied black woman, like Jesus said, man, you're in the bed and you want to go to sleep, but you can't go to sleep. And when you're up, you want to go lay down, and you can't lay down. You can't be up. You can't lay down. You just in torment, brother. Just in torment, man.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, man. Ooh, yeah.
Nothing worse.
Nothing.
Can a dissatisfied black woman? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
So she's the key. So,
if she's the key,
we can tell her. We've already demonstrated it, though.
Okay.
If you got all these exceptions, all these men that have money, and they go on that route, it's not a coincidence.
So you saying that her perspective is based on these exceptions, that she's turning the exceptions into the rule instead of saying, okay, these cats are exceptions. Of course they're going to have different opportunities to do different things because they're exceptions to the rule.
But even though the exception, it still should be the exception, meaning these prominent athletes or these wealthy black men. You still should marry a black woman because you're more in contact with the black woman. Why are you going that route? There's a reason why he's going that route. Again, it's not a coincidence.
But they're saying
it seems like
he's going that way because he just don't want to be with no sister.
Right. Okay. Why? Did you ever ask him? Maybe it's me. Did you ever even think? You know what? Did you ever even consider?
Because that's what he want to do. He's been wanting to do that since he was a little boy.
No. Go back to his childhood. See who he dated before.
They're gonna say that's what he been.
And talk to him. No, you ain't trying. See, now you're lying. Have you ever considered it might just be you?
No. She hasn't. That's what I'm saying. That we got to get to a point where how do we educate these sisters on the fact that it's probably you. You're probably the reason why somebody did something like that. Yeah, there's rare occasions where there's a dude that just, that's just all he like. I mean, he ain't never liked nothing else. That's
and that's another exception.
That's a rare exception. Most dudes.
Yeah, and it could be just, because I believe in this, it could be just real love.
Yeah,
Some people find real love in another way. There's something God is doing.
But I'm saying,
because God will put you together.
But I'm saying that they wouldn't even be open to even looking at something like that most of the time. I mean, sometimes you just run across somebody, two paths run across each other. But I'm saying most of the time, dudes' eyes ain't even open enough to do something like that because they're on the path here with the sisterhood. They're trying to make something happen with the sisterhood, and then something go faulty one time, something go faulty another time, something go faulty another time, and they say to themselves, you know what? The sisterhood playing games over here. And Becky, Becky gets to, she wants to run my program. I'm gonna give her a shot. See how it turns out. Because they'll do. You know what they're gonna do? They'll do the handle thing. You can't handle a plant. You can't handle it. You can't handle one. They don't realize, man, what they're saying, man. You know what I'm saying? You handle toxic chemicals. You handle wild animals. You handle snakes and alligators, man. You know what I'm saying? You handle dynamite. You know what I mean? Right. But they don't get what they're saying, man. So that's the thing. You can't handle me. I'm too strong for you to handle. And so they feel like, okay, well, since I'm too strong for you, I'm making you run over there since they weaker than us. But it's actually the opposite. They stronger because they understand that they have to use their strength to know when to sit down, hold back, sit back, infuse themselves into the program without trying to take the reins. Whereas the black woman, she's strong, but she don't know how to use her strength to get what she want. And that's a bad thing. But anyway, that's what you say, brother. I forgot what you said about about overcoming the situation. We got to be more direct. What was you saying? You got to be more direct with them, or we got to talk to them, or what was you saying again?
No. I mean, even if you tell her, like I said, she has to consider it just might be me. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
One day she has to consider, you know what? It just might be me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him and I'm getting mad at him and I'm going off of that's just what he wants. As a whole, just look at, you know what, sister? It just might be us.
Yeah.
Maybe we got him going that route.
I agree with you, man. I agree, but like I said, it's hard to get them to.
Now, at the same time, too, I'm saying that now, not to be hard on sisters, we got a lot of work to do too.
Yes,
a whole lot.
Yes, sir.
Because she ain't got no faith in us. That's not her fault.
Yes, sir.
She don't even look at us to protect her. If the devil turned off the lights right now, she ain't gonna even look to us. Yeah. She want to call the devil, turn my lights back on.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at us like, baby, get those lights back on.
Right.
And as a whole, we should be like, you know what? We're gonna get them lights back on.
Right.
Even if he turns off the whole grid. I mean, just turned off the whole. Nah, we turn them lights back on, man.
Right.
That's where she don't have any faith in us, because he ruled the world.
Right.
So like I said, it's a hell of a thing. She has no faith, none. She don't believe in us at all.
Yeah.
Not even for protection.
Yeah.
And that's what you are. Not only a provider, but you're a protector.
Yeah.
And she don't believe you can protect her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot. it's a lot. So to say we can easily beat up on it, and just say, yeah, you need to have faith in us and you need to do, yeah. And what she gonna say is, when you gonna stand up?
Yeah.
So you waiting on me, telling me what I should be doing. When you gonna do what you need to do? We got enough alpha dogs. The problem with us, and I was talking to a brother yesterday about it. The problem with us, most of our alpha dogs are locked up. If you ask me, they're misunderstood. We got alpha dogs, but they lock them up.
Yeah,
anytime they see a black man with a string, they lock him up.
Well, they got to, Brother Jarvis.
You find one among us that can really fight, they lock him up.
Well, they got to. And you know why? You know why they have to do that? It's because, see, your music, your rap music, it is very, it promotes violence against, hardcore violence against black men, women, and children. Okay? But when somebody, a black person steps out and says, well, I ain't going to just do this to black people. I'm going to do it to anybody who come across, who got something I want. So when they do it to white, they do it to white victims. I had the stat, I think 81% of the people on death row have had a white victim. So, it's clearly, the role of white people in the mix of the situation, that has their safety is why those people are locked up. Because if you go against the programming, see, the programming is you can be hard as you want against black people. We'll give you 5 years, bring you back out. We'll give you 10 years, bring you back out. But when you start going after other people, especially Caucasian people, man, now you what they call a rogue. You're going against the programming, and now we got to lock you up because we don't know what you're gonna do. Even if you're a mastermind like Freeway Ricky Ross, you figured out how to do that? Okay, we got to put you away, brother.
Yeah, instead of using them, man. You mean to tell me you took pennies from the street? You took pennies and made a multi-million-dollar conglomerate or empire from the streets, and you don't see any value in that, man? Because of the scheme.
Well, because we got to listen to what he's saying. If he's talking about black people and how they need to come together and get some business interests together, we gotta lay you down, brother. We gotta lay you down. But if you talking about black people ain't nothing, whatever, then we can leave you out there. It depends on what you talking about out there.
Yeah, there's a show. I'm treating it as a study. It's called Hip Hop. I believe it's semicolon uncovered.
Okay.
And it's really, really a good show because the question was asked in a prior interview about the hip hop culture. And this show is really went where I really wanted to go. Because it talks about the alpha dogs in our community.
Right.
And I'm like, damn. You look at every alpha dog that's talking. All y'all have done jail time.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And you wonder why.
Yeah. But it's real simple.
And it's like, you left them no choice. They did what they felt we had to do. And you lock them up. But it was, like I said, it's called Hip Hop, semicolon, uncovered. And that, what they're talking about is where I was trying to go. It was good and bad. Because I believe you asked me, was there not any good in it, but, but the route you took was the the downing or the how we talked about black women in there, or the masculinity of the woman. And there's a sister on there. She's from I think New York. She's Waka Flocka mother.
Oh,
And she
yeah.
explained, she explains why and how, really more so how she became so masculine. It's a really, if you see why and how she did what, because see most of us, we do what we have to do. And you'll say, that's why you're so masculine.
Right.
She had to be.
Right.
In order to survive, she had to be. Now you understand, like, okay, they're not just coming in this game just doing it. To survive, the woman or the sisters in it had to turn on a masculine nature.
Yeah, I get it.
In order to make it.
I get it. But we talking about relationships, and if you have a masculine frame, I don't think it's going to be too many cats chasing after you.
No,
because nobody wants that. And
it's not because she doesn't know how to turn it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and it's going to repulse. It's going to repel
a real man.
Because like minds, like attracts. I mean, like repels, and opposites attract, right? So
yeah, I don't like to attract. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm hard, I want soft. You know what I'm saying? If I'm hard, right. I don't want hard. No. I think that even works in the gay community. I mean, ain't no real hard gangster gay dude gonna want another real hard gangster gay dude. I think he's gonna want somebody who's gonna be submissive at the end of the day, right? So, but anyway, let me lay down my theory of what can help. My theory of what could help is that we as men, man, we got to start. We don't have to be, callous, but we can start being honest about certain things that black women can, so they can understand the reality of the situation they're in. Because a lot of times they don't realize, man, they're in a bad situation. You got 2 kids and you 40 years old, and you're expecting somebody who's making 6 figures to come and find you? You're not in your right mind. Why would somebody that in that situation want to step in and be somebody's stepdad? But they feel like, hey, a good dude, that's what he gonna want to do. No, you don't have to be a good dude to step in that situation. If you could be a good dude without stepping in that situation. A dude want to be if that's what a dude want to do, good. Hey, do it. But know what you're getting into and don't cry later. Know what you're getting into and don't cry later. Because it's hard to be a step parent. Damn, it's hard to be a parent. It's hard to be the natural parent, let alone a step parent. Anyway, we gotta.
Hey, who wanna hear you ain't my daddy?
You ain't my daddy, and then when you start trying to discipline this child, the mothers come running in. Don't do that. No, you can't discipline them. And then the original father come in and say, hey, man, I don't want you disciplining. Who wants to go through all that? That's drama. That's why I just want mine. That way I can discipline them. And I just got to fight the mother for me. I ain't got to fight her because on behalf of somebody else. That's crazy. But yeah, man, we got to stop. We got to stop. We got to stop complimenting, and unless we really, this is something we really mean. You cannot compliment a woman over, maybe once or twice in a sitting, man. You just can't do it. You keep doing that, man. You just keep showing her that she's on this incredible pedestal, man. And that's what's wrong with all these women, man. Their heads are spinning because they think they're on this pedestal. They don't realize, dude was just saying that to get in your pants. But you don't realize it just, you've been hearing it all your life, so you're like, oh, cool. You really think that that's what they... Anyway, I feel like we need to just be honest with these women, man, and start talking to them straight so that they can see that, if they really want to be in relationships with men, they're going to have to start understanding a lot more better about men. Like our grandparents knew, our grandmothers knew, hey, if I'm gonna be a certain way, I can't expect no man to be here. So either I gotta toe the line, I'm gonna be on my own. My grandmother, man, she was a great lady. She was a great lady. She died alone, man. She died alone in a nursing home, man. Because you know why? She could not get along with nobody. She couldn't get along with, she couldn't get along with her husband. Could divorced him. Couldn't get along with. I mean, she was, God rest her soul. She was a beautiful lady, man. Beautiful lady. But like I said, unfortunately, didn't know how to dial it down. You know what I mean? Like most black women, just don't know how to know when to dial it down. So yeah, that's it pretty much. If you're gonna be out there talking about black men, you should qualify the conversation just like if you qualify it for black women. All right. You got anything else to say on this subject, Brother Jarvis?
No, sir. I believe you said it all.
All right, then. That's this topic. We'll see if we got another one for y'all. So don't go away for too long. We'll be back. And oh yeah, as always, never be the aggressor. Never be the aggressor. Peace.